Whoa, Nelly. This is a spicy meatball. And given the topic, you know what's going to happen to this video. It's going to get memory hold. So definitely be active with that thumbs button, leaving a comment, and then get this thing out on social media, other places, because this one is huge. It completely flies in the face of what YouTube has said in terms of trustworthy media. You know how YouTube said that they're actively delisting, deboosting independent creators because the mainstream media is just so trustworthy, and people like CBS, CNN, and MSNBC and Fox News are all just the only places people should get any information in terms of, well, everything going on in the world today. Well, we've got a major expose to talk about. Before we get into that, just a quick word to a sponsor that continues to support this channel. They didn't even pay for this ad. I just want to say, well, because I know this video is going to be yellow, I strongly recommend the manscaped.com lawnmower 3.0. Look, Manscaped is stuck by this channel for going on, I think, 6 months now, in all of its ups and downs, including everything going on out in the world right now. And if you're a dude or you know a dude, you know you've got to tame that mane. This thing has over 900 5-star reviews, 600 milliamp lithium ion rechargeable battery, fully waterproof. You can use this thing anywhere on your body. Keep your beard tight, keep your chest clean, all the way down to your ball fro. And I can get you 20% off if you use the link in my pinned comment down below. Please do so. And give Manscaped a try. They also have their Perfect Package 3.0, which I recommend you check out. So, getting into the story. So I saw Tim post it out. I saw the Veritas team trending on Twitter, and it's tough to know because sometimes the stuff that they put out ends up not being verified, or it ends up being maybe blown up to be bigger than what it really is. But this is it. This is a very real and now verified expose that CBS had published 100% fake news about a Detroit hospital or a Michigan hospital or something like that. We're going to get into it. So Tim writes, "Bravo, Project Veritas. CBS acknowledges that they ran a staged segment, albeit they said they were unaware, and have pulled the clip in question. We are removing the Cherry Health portion from the piece." Now, the individual will look at both the coverage from Veritas, but also the coverage from other mainstream media, because they are also verifying it, which represents basically the first time I can remember that they didn't just immediately say, "Oh, it's a right-wing group and everything they say is false." CBS News in the Morning aired a faked drive-through testing site in a line of cars. A CBS News crew pulled medical professionals off the floor at Cherry Medical Center in Grand Rapids, Michigan, to line up their cars so a CBS film crew would have a long line for their COOF coverage. Absolute proof. This is what I'm talking about. Does this mean that areas like New York are totally fine and that it's all fake news? No, of course not. I have a close personal friend that quit her job in Louisville, Kentucky to go work in New York and get paid an exorbitant amount of money because they were desperate for nurse help. The cases there are real. But holy moly, this is the company, these are the people that YouTube is actively pushing down your throats. Just look at this. On April 15th, mainstream news is now soaring on YouTube thanks to, quote, authoritativeness ranking scores. YouTube is cementing the dominance of major news networks. YouTube is emerging as a powerful broadcaster in the time of everything going on right now, with its 2 billion users more than ever tuning into the platform to consume news. According to Chief Product Officer Neil Mohan, who also called people like me basement dwellers, views on video classified as news increased 75% year over year. And in an interview with Bloomberg TV, he attributed this to everything going on out there right now and people attempting to find what's going on. Duh. And what we see and learn on YouTube is tightly controlled. The giant service's content using algorithms and effectively human editors. While the goal is to establish authoritative news sources, is to promote it. Just like Mohan didn't disclose the exact number of views contained in that 75% increase, YouTube doesn't share their authoritative ranking scores. When it comes to this type of news, YouTube has introduced a set of stringent rules that it keeps updating, banning anything from content suspected of encouraging people to not stay at home to videos talking about other types of technology. The company will also not allow videos downplaying it, but they'll allow videos conflating it. You see what I mean? Oh my God. Like, this is huge. Where's Neil Mohan? I am formally requesting statement from you on this. On top of that, YouTube visitors are being directed towards government sources, which is generally okay, thanks to what's described as an information panel, which has received over 10 billion views. However, the massive increase in views doesn't mean more advertising dollars, as companies are spending less due to everything going on right now. Can confirm, which is why I talked about Manscaped in this video. This is not good, particularly for smaller independent creators, but independent YouTube news commentators already have the platform playing against them as they don't fit into the, quote, authoritativeness model. YouTube CEO Susan Wojcicki had no problem spelling it out when she said that independent YouTubers are not allowed to post news content. Quote, "We are not going to recommend that when there's breaking news content." Well, I'm glad that YouTube is going to promote CBS, a company busted for staging what can only be described as a fear prawn to play up this. I mean, obviously we know news companies do this. They've been doing it for years. For example, well, I'll get into that later. Instead, viewers are steered towards companies that we know have a long tradition of delivering reliable news, like CBS. Quote, "We could have been doing other stuff," registered nurse complains. "Apparently, the news crew wanted more people in line," said Cherry Health supervisor. Quote, "We pretended. There were a couple of real patients, which made it worse," said another registered nurse. A CBS News crew pulled medical professionals off the floor of Cherry Medical Center in Grand Rapids, Michigan, to line up their vehicles so CBS film crew would have had so they could film a long line for their coverage. Quote, "Our insider witnessed the whole thing and came to us because he knew we would protect him. The insider told us that the medical personnel were taken away from treating patients and to make the line longer for actual patients to wait for their tests. In an interview, quote, "You're telling me you're 100% certain that CBS News Corporation National staged a fake event. They faked the news. They faked the reality and broadcasted that to all of their audience last Friday on CBS This Morning." The insider said, 100% absolutely. Nick Ross, a corporate cleaning site supervisor at Cherry Health Facility, said he was there when the CBS News crew arrived and set up the video shoot at the testing site. Quote, "Apparently the news crew wanted more people in line because they knew it was scheduled." Disgusting. And now you might say, oh, you might be like the Daily Beast when their headline read, or their title tag read, oh, they actually just updated this. They called them, they said something about it being right-wing before. CBS News accused of using fake footage in the testing report. TV network, CBS, by the way, more reliable than you or I, anybody. More reliable than Styx Hexenhammer. More reliable than any independent news coverage, because reasons. TV network's CBS News has been accused by right-wing activist group. This is what I mean. It's the Daily Beast, obviously, but this is poisoning the well here to their readers. I'm assuming the site must lean left because every time I use them as a source, it always has this type of language, but it doesn't matter. I'm going to show you plenty of sources here that corroborate this. So with a statement, in a statement to them, CBS News said Cherry Health staff added to the queue without their knowledge, and that Cherry Health portion of the report would be removed. Quote, "These allegations are deeply disturbing. We reached out to Cherry Health to address them immediately. They informed us that for the first time, one of their chief officers told at least one staffer to get in the testing line with real patients." So if you were there waiting, you took all the risks to get out there and wait in, too bad you're going to be waiting longer because CBS News wants to hype this up like the line is super long and everybody's overwhelmed and they're the real heroes. Meanwhile, they're participating in creating panic. How about Snopes? You don't like them? How about Snopes? Did CBS use the footage from Italy for New York in a 2019 report? A CBS News program used a brief clip from an Italian hospital in a segment about the coup in New York City. Snopes reported that that was true. Again, CBS has done this not once but twice in terms of the everything going on right now. CBS News is exposed, and of course, YouTube will continue to boost them up in the rankings as they are, quote, an authoritative source. Absolutely disgusting. Share this video everywhere you possibly can. And remember, just because one thing was fake doesn't mean it's all fake. Of course it doesn't. This health situation is serious and needs to be respected. But the problem is, just as bad as people out there spreading that it's nothing, you've got major mainstream news publishing absolutely verifiably false footage in order to increase panic in the US citizens, and it is disgusting. And YouTube had better strongly consider, at minimum, taking CBS out of their authoritative news sources after this is at least the second time we've seen this happening. I'm curious what Neil Mohan and Susan Wojcicki will have to say about the state of YouTube and its news coverage going forward. I hope you enjoyed this video. We'll talk to you again real soon.